camera for people?
No, not four boxes like this before. Although Kev needs to bring his.
Hopefully, you can still hear me.
Down. Yeah, everyone's in, everyone's loud and clear. Welcome everyone to a new YEV episode. This is the live EV podcast. On no particular side, not the evangelists or the diehard petrol heads. We're right in the middle. Car enthusiasts want to know more about electric cars and what we can do with them and what's happening. And for that particular reason, we've got someone very special on today, as well as our other commentators, Alex Grant and Kevin Booker. And it looks like Kevin Booker, not that anyone can see if you're listening, is at a grid-served charging port. So he's obviously out of charge. It's exactly what happens when you've got an electric car. You're constantly at the public charging. Welcome everyone. And we've also got, like I said, a very special guest today, Arvydas. Sounds like Adidas, but with AV at the beginning, Arvydas. That's how I've remembered it because I'm rubbish at remembering names. But very shortly, he's going to give us a little whistle-top tour in terms of what he does, because he specializes in EV battery swaps on lots of different EV models, sales and repair. But how is everyone?
Good.
Fantastic.
Good.
Good response, everybody.
I had a really disastrous, difficult, long journey in an EV on Friday night. I went to go and see. I went to a gig in Bedford, so I'm based in Cardiff. I left Cardiff in my long-term granddad. It was, hot day, so I had to use the air conditioning. It was a really difficult journey. I drove all the way there on 57%, and I had to stop for a whole 20 minutes on the way back on a 340-mile round trip. I mean, it's just so arduous. I don't know how people manage it.
Funnily enough, that's right next to where I live, and you didn't even pop in to say hello. Which charger did you charge at on the way down?
On the way home, I charged at Reading Services Tesla charger on the way back. So I did Cardiff up to Hartford, stayed over night in Hartford, and came back via Reading Services on the way. Well, I think about 15% by the time I got back to Reading Services.
I'm actually completely outnumbered today, chaps, because I've got three Welshmen on. Well, certainly you all live in Wales. I'm in the UK, England side. But enough about the borders and different teams we might support. Let's if I give a little intro into Arvydas in terms of what he does, but before I hand it over to him to explain what he does in the EV world, I think it's quite important to highlight that he's actually won a couple of awards recently, haven't you, Arvydas? Tell us about those. Tell us about what you do.
Yeah, that's rewards just to win it. It was best garage in Mid Wales. And it was like about 100 businesses all together and people voting for your business. And overall winner from all them business as well, it was my business, EV Sales and Repairs.
It's all right. I'm sure Alex, Kevin's just dropped off. I'm sure there wasn't reason for Arvydas talking. So no, mate, that's great. That's great news that you've got those awards recently. And what when we met first, we met at one of the EV shows, and I'd heard about your good work in EV swapping. Can you tell the audience and Alex, if you didn't know, a bit about what you do in that area?
Yeah, servicing electric cars, upgrading batteries, especially like Tesla or BMW i3s, like first BMW i3s. Now he are 10-year-old. Before then, it maybe 80, 90 miles with 22 kilowatt battery. And now after 10 years, he lost like 2-3 kilowatts and do maybe 60 miles. So what I do, I change a bigger battery, like put in 42 kilowatt from accident damage cars, or if his car something wrong, like EME failed, so we buy in, stripping them for parts, put in batteries for sale, and then who buy it? We got a service to install. in your car, bigger battery, and then you have not 60-mile range, but if you drive in, try and save miles, driving long way, so you can do maybe 180 miles. And like one time I drove it, one BMW i3 to London, is about 180 miles one way, and I drove it to London and it still was left 11 miles.
Wow.
So
what size battery do you change it from and to?
From 22 kilowatts to 42.
Wow. Okay.
But hey, it's exactly the same
battery pack in that then.
Yeah, it's original BMW i3 battery. It is now, coming Chinese different batteries.
We've been talking about that, haven't we, chaps? We've been talking about the Chinese batteries coming over.
Yeah, you can put it, but I want first wait, 2-3 years. If we see no problems, cars don't go on a fire, because you can't believe it. You look in China every day, cars burning by the chargers. It's
you got to be careful, Kevin. Kevin's in a Chinese car, aren't you, right now? And you're next to some chargers. There's a high wind.
Yeah, I'm actually charging an MG Cyberstar at the moment.
So there we go. Therefore, Kevin,
MG, it's good company. He worked it many years now. With electric cars, he sorted out all problems, and I can say MG is really good. He give us, is that 7-year warranty MG now given?
Yes, 7 years on 7 years on 100,000 miles on the battery.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good.
Hopefully it's got 7 years warranty on these fancy doors.
Yes.
That's the Roadster, yeah. Oh, nice. I wanted to drive an EV show in London, but it didn't was any free spaces. I wanted test drive.
I didn't introduce it properly. Kevin is in the official Chargeheads UK vehicle, because it's obviously the Chargeheads colour. It's show everyone.
Yeah,
I think people missed it.
Hang on. Let's see if I can get. Hang on, I've got to open the door again now.
Oh, for goodness sakes. That sounds laborious. I'm sure Alex has something to add with that.
Hang on.
They are laborious. They're the best and worst thing about that car, those doors.
Yeah. I think Kev's been drinking. Oh, look at that MG.
Space. You'd never get
very
it.
nice.
Yeah.
For everyone that can't see the video, basically it's a bright yellow MG Cyberster that Kevin's charging up. It's got a massive MG emblem badge on the front bonnet. And I've got
just in case
4% charge to get, and then I'm off to Amsterdam in it to prove that you can do long road trips in an electric car.
Oh, I will once speak about long trips, because I done it like 4,000 miles in a Tesla Model S. And I am very lucky, because I got free supercharger, so I didn't spend any penny, for charging. 4,000 miles. And
how much do you think that would have been? How much do you think that would have been with the? Because where did you drive it to?
I drove it. Across France, the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Poland, and crossed to Lithuania as well, because my parents nearly lives to Latvia border. It's not far there. So I done 4,000 miles in 2 weeks, and it didn't cost nothing. And last summer we went to south of France and drive that, follow the coast all the way to the Italy. Yeah, we've been in the just forgot now name. Where is Formula One track in that city in Monaco? Drive that Tesla through the Monaco F1 racetrack as well.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Going back to what we were talking about, the battery swapping, because that's what I want this video to be about, because your knowledge is really, really superb on this, Arvydas. So, basically this i3, so you swapped it from a 22 kilowatt hour battery to a 44, was it 40? Sorry, 42 kilowatt hour battery.
42, but I
That
can
was,
swap. I can swap, sorry, Tim, and 33 kilowatt, you know, if you maybe don't need that range. But yeah, best to change it to 42 kilowatts. So then it's like, you know, sometimes more like double range you have it.
Yeah. Well, the what I was going to ask is, if you are putting BMW batteries in again, two questions really. First of all, what is the battery state of health of these kind of batteries you're fitting? And lastly, what sort of what the cost of these kind of batteries? I'm guessing it changes depending on supplier and the state of health of it.
Yeah, cost to supply battery. If I supply in and fit in there, if it's 94 kilowatt battery, I always look in from low mileage cars, but you know, last one's like it's 94 kilowatt battery. It could
Sorry,
be last.
the i3s I was talking about.
Yeah, of the iFreeze. Yeah.
You don't get 94. You don't get 94 kilowatt hour battery for
no, sorry, 94 amp battery. Sorry,
ampere. Yeah.
Sorry.
Because it's 33 kilowatt or 94 amp battery, and if it's 120 amp, that's 42 kilowatt.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, we're charging it for upgrading 33 kilowatt, £5,000. That's included programming, testing, changing. We need as well remove air conditioner gas. We always check in how many gas it was, because it's really important for BMW's air conditioner gas. When you're charging on the fast chargers, because that will cools down your battery. Yeah, it's really important air conditioner. And yeah, we got few customers which ones came up and it was like air condensers failed, you know, some like 5-6 year old car and air condenser gone. And for Tesla's exactly same. And in the future,
what you're talking about, Arvydas. That never happens to any Teslas. Air conditioning issues. Don't know what you're on about.
You have a biggest one.
Which, do you know what's been really interesting? Not only to see what saving can be made by buying used parts and going to independents like yourself and like Cleveland EV to make the change. And, you know, for a lot of people that will be watching the video next, I think I must have saved, it must have cost 10% of what it would be with Tesla. But saying that, I know that they have upgraded the air conditioning system, namely, I think the condenser on the Tesla Model 3s. And I think the 2023 version is the newest, I believe. But you might be able to give us a bit more of a understanding of, you know, is it a common fault? Have you seen many Teslas with that kind of fault before with the condenser?
No, I think maybe that's because it's high mileage. Could be that one. Yeah, we've seen it before, like BMW as well. Pumps wear out, and then all little pieces goes into the system, and then you know you need to change all pipes. And one was inside the battery coolant pipes was as well little pieces. So we tried to flush it and everything, and it's a bit stupid why he didn't put in like little filters or something just in case if his pump fail. But you must know if his pump noisy, then you need to take it to change it. You know, not like some people drive till that's completely like wears out and stop working. So that's no good. If his pump noisy,
if it's still noisy, I should get it changed, like the regassed again.
Yeah, regas and everything check. And when you regast it, you will need then check if it's still noisy, then you may be best to change that whole pump.
Yeah.
But second-hand parts, I don't have anything wrong about them because I buy in exactly same. I got breakers business as well. I buy in Teslas, BMWs as well, stripping for the parts, but more just Model S's, BMW i3s because I need batteries and other parts. So I'm more specialized in two makes, BMW and Tesla, but working with another electric cars as well.
So probably quite a good mix. So if you've got 10K plus to spend or able to finance it, then yeah, Tesla. And then if you want to go for something that's going to be cheaper, I mean, what are i3s going for? I haven't looked for a while. In fact, I'll look now. What are they going for? Like $5,000 now still?
Yeah, if it's 10-year-old BMW i3 and you can buy with range extender, and range extender, it is best thing, I think, what they done it for electric car. Because if you run out of the battery, you keep going. Or like now, on the motorways. Oh, Kevin, how much it costs to charge now per kilowatt?
At the moment, on the grid serve I'm on at the moment. Oh, I should have unmuted now.
You're right.
Am I unmuted now? I'm good now?
No, yeah.
Yeah. So the charge I'm at now is 85 pence a kilowatt hour.
Oh my God.
And I'm not almost and because it's quiet and I've got a long trip, I've done what you shouldn't normally do. So because now I'm at 97,
Kevin.
no, I'm at 97.
That's disgusting. How dare you?
You don't charge. It's all right if there's no people waiting, then it's okay.
Yeah, there's nobody here, but it is telling me now that it's trickle charging and can be stopped at any time.
You might as well stop.
So
you to stop. I still think that you should continue the live as you're driving with the window down.
Yeah.
We'll just keep you on mute. We didn't just see your grimaced face.
I was going to say. So this is the point where I'm going to say, enjoy the rest of the podcast, and I've got to put the roof up because I have been told I'm supposed to drive with the roof down all the time, but it's getting cold now.
Well, yeah, when sun
really
goes down, you will be cold, definitely.
All right, I know Alex did drive with the roof down when it was almost raining, but
it was December. I came to you in Wales in December with the roof down all the way, and I took the long route there as well. Come on.
Yeah,
I know.
It's disgusting.
Right. So I'm going to just do this set for a second, and then I'm going to unplug from the charger. You'll see it get dark in a second.
Kevin, you've changed. Ever since you got into that MG, you changed.
Right. So,
all right, mate.
And see you all.
Bye. Bye. And then there were 3. There we go. So BMW, I've just checked. You can there's a range extender for £4,570 in Inverness, 158,000 miles on the clock. I mean, I don't know much about i3s. I know there's that i3 specialist. I forget what they're.
I can say what goes worse on that car. EMEs at the moment. EMEs is big problem. And, EME, it is that control model which one controls your high voltage to give to the motor and everywhere. And it is problems now with them. Brand new, about £5,000 from BMW. But I find it out how to do different way, because like if you're buying like second hand from breaker, put it in there, that doesn't work. But because it must be like that unit virgin, then you can program it very easy, follow VIN number like if you get it from BMW. But if it's not, you will need to get from donor car EME, then board computer, key, another one unit, and it is really, really hard job to all program it to the VIN number. But I find it out another way. You just change immobilizer block. If it's not damaged from EME where it was in your original car, and if you buy in with same parts number from breakers, you just swap that one model, immobilizer model from your damaged EME, put it in the car, delete the faults with Easter, and that works.
Easter, yes.
Yeah, BMW Easter diagnostic.
Nice.
So it is as well. What else on the BMW i3s could fail? Yeah.
Like the actual motor. So the range extender's obviously got. Is it it's like a single piston motor? What's the kind of?
No, that's two-cylinder motor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
bike engine. Yeah.
It's 650cc motorbike engine, isn't it?
And belt or chain driven?
It is chain, isn't it?
Okay. And what's the longevity of those engines, do you think?
He lasts long, but you must be servicing, because like I bought few BMWs i3s. They came up with range extenders and looks like never ever been serviced it. And you can manually start engine because normally when you drive, it's automatically starts and engine starts like turning if you have left 6 miles electricity. But you can start it manually as well. So what I said, people all, because it's charging cost more as you put fuel into that car. So it's best to run it to 75%, like using 1 bar of the battery from it's on i3 is 4 bars. And then when 75%, you can start manually range extender and then drive it. So I done it with 22 kilowatt battery and range extender, went all the way to London. It's about 170, 180 miles with 9 liters of fuel and just 1 charge. And I reached.
Let me get this right. So if I were to buy that cheap £4,500 range extender i3, obviously I need to service the engine, make sure that's all okay, and then I could increase the battery size to 42 kilowatt hours. What do you charge?
42 kilowatts to upgrade. That's 6,500 including VAT. But that's if I supply battery and fit it, and I give you then 2-year warranty. You can buy yourself from breakers that battery. Maybe you get a few £1,000 cheaper. And I can install it, and that's which I charge, and then £1,000 plus VAT to install it, program it, and testing after that on all charges if everything works as it should,
And like I said in my original question, what sort of state of health are these batteries?
Oh yes, so if
and then sorry, Alex, to butt in,
if like you're talking about that 2014 or 15 BMW, it should left about 15-16 kilowatt, but normally when it's brand new BMW have about 19 kilowatt, because always 3 kilowatts will left in the battery where you can't use it then. So he now 10-year-old, he have left about 15-16 kilowatt. But you put in like battery from 2019, 20, 21, 23 plate BMW i3, 120 amp or 42 kilowatt. So that will have about 38.5, 39 kilowatt. You can on a secret menu, just on a dash menu, it's few buttons, and you write it, count 7 last digits of VIN number and put it in your driver's screen, and then you can unlock secret menu and check how many capacity left in there.
Nice.
And you have then not like 16 kilowatt left, in that 10-11 year BMW, but you have about 38, 39 kilowatts. So that's more like double,
Because BMW never did the range extender with the biggest battery, did they? They stopped after the second. They finished the 33 and they still offered that with both, but then they stopped after they put the 42 in it. So this is a non-BMW product. This is something that BMW never offered. It's quite a powerful combination, that biggest battery with the range extender on top. That's yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, that's if you're driving in the Eco Pro Plus mode with BMW, maybe not on the motorway, on the back roads, like I done it, drive that to Yorkshire. I done 300 miles, include 9-liter fuel and full battery. So 300 miles cost me, I didn't charge it on public chargers, or on the fast chargers. So
Has it got DC charging on the range extender? I'm guessing it's only AC.
Yes, BMW i3s from 2018, you have fast chargers, DC chargers all the time. But if you buy in older, it's like
optional,
22 kilowatt or 33 kilowatts. So if that owner wanted save 700 pounds and didn't order it from the factory DC charger, that's coming only AC charger 7 kilowatt then.
You can't retrofit it.
So it's possible, but it's not worth it. It's better because I was fitted one before, but that took long time and it's not worth it. You better sell it that car cheaper and buy it another one where it was before, because it's extra wiring loom, extra wires goes in there. So it's not very easy to install it because you need to change sockets as well. So it's a different system.
No, fair enough. Alex, have you got any more questions before I start picking Arvydas's brains about Teslas?
What from the point of view of what do you actually have to register? If you change the battery of the car, registration
we can't hardly hear you. Turn your video off because we can't seem to hear you. That might help.
Yeah, looks like internet.
I don't know why this is. Is that better?
That's much better, mate.
Is that better?
Yes, better.
Yeah,
yes,
100%.
Okay. It's just as a. Are there any kind of issues in terms of how you go about registering them afterwards? How do you go about? Is there anything you have to log with the DVLA or anything along those lines? Like if you fitted a bigger engine in a petrol car, you'd have to change. You have to log it on the V5. What is there anything you have to change after you've swapped the battery on them?
No, don't need it because that bigger battery don't give you more horsepower. It's same horsepower, and you don't have emissions in electric car or in range extender you got. But so if you got BMW range extender newer, like 2017 April, you will need to pay road tax, and I think that's maybe about 170 pounds or something per year, and every year is going more.
195.
Maybe. But if it's older as the 2017 April, then you don't need pay anything.
I think it's kind of in the grey
£20.
Yeah, now, it's changed it. I think it's £20.
Yeah, it's in the grey area, isn't it? I suppose from an insurance point of view, they might be. You could argue that maybe from a safety point of view, if again this is just being pedantic, but not having the bigger battery in the range extender, it doesn't exist. So but it's a grey area thing, and I love a bit of grey area, and some grey is greyer than other grey. It's a bit like Trikey, my 3-wheeled scooter. That's probably a slightly different color of grey, but there we go. So I think Alex's reception's gone a bit, but I'm sure we'll be back in a second. So talk to me about Teslas, Arvydas. So what have you done so far in terms of the kind of more than servicing and more than suspension work? I mean, I'm talking about the nitty gritty stuff like the batteries and charging ports and that sort of thing. What have you done in that kind of area so far?
Teslas, you see, all the Teslas as well. If you buy a not new Tesla, you're not leasing, you'll need to look after it because all the Teslas got like Model S's or Model X's. Fuse is on the top of the battery, not on the bottom, but on the top. And it is not stainless steel cover in there, it's metal cover. And that's where start rusts, and water then gets into the battery through that cover. As well, another thing, if you got older Tesla, best to don't charge over 80% if you don't use it next day, because your all heating and cooling system runs all night. Sometimes I hear people like charge that car fully. Hey, don't drive 2 next days nowhere, and that car just sound bzzz, all the time, goes like that. So why I said you charge and that's no good for your battery. And he said, oh, why my car battery after 2 days dropped it from 100% to 90%? Because I said you charged it fully, your cooling system was run it all that day or two trying to cool that battery, and you didn't drive that, so it's automatically power gone on it. And that's as well another thing. Wet roads in the Wales, a lot of floods, people driving through them, fully charged. And like Tesla batteries got umbrella valves underneath battery. And then if you fully charge battery or over 80%, you see battery sweats and like, we got like minus temperature in the morning. Then after 2 hours is, goes plus temperature. So battery starts like get like condensation. And if it's fully charged battery or over percent, his battery start push all sweat down. And if you're driving through the flood and you didn't done it like umbrella valve service or like clean it or removed it and replace it a new one, so gets dirty and then starts releasing water into the battery when you drive in. And you can't believe one of the customers, it being big floods, him drive that Tesla right up to the windscreen. And I said, Teslas is not submarine. You don't drive in the water like that. And I stripped it off front, and I can see a water line was like up to the front windscreen. And he said, oh no, it's just just a little bit water. No, I can see where it was water. So water went inside the battery from umbrella valves. And he was fully charged battery because was driving long way that day. And him got free supercharger. I said every second services got superchargers, Tesla superchargers. Just stop, get coffee, wait 10-15 minutes, and you drive again, and that's free. But no, didn't listen it, so charged it fully, drive it through the massive floods. It was like river, it's not a flood, river, proper river. The river came out and he drive it through there. Water in there, so stripped it off battery. It's very hard to remove lid because it's not like BMW, it's just the bolts around the top of the battery. Over there, sealant, you need special tools to peel off and cut it top lid. It's about 500 bolts as well to remove from the Tesla battery. So removed it all models, find a lot of water in the battery. It's lucky, saved all models, but it was one as well, Tesla, which one came up and was parked, I don't know, for maybe 2-3 weeks, and water damage was rust. All the models was rust, and I needed change the 2 models from another battery, but I done it, and I bought some system like to charge them, rebalance them, and because you need exactly same voltage.
I see a Felton part there.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. And you know that's car charger connects to the you originally see Tesla board is like that. It's a BMS board, and you see it's a lot little like components on it. Or this one, it's very, very simple. You just connect, goes to the each battery line, and it will charge, because it's got you got like 6 parts of the battery, and they should be all exactly same voltage. In a one model, 6 parts, it should be exactly same voltage.
Yeah. No,
and when you charge then exactly like it was in your battery, another models. And I got all equipment as well to check and connect to the Teslas, check each model, what the voltage. That's really important, because if not, you don't know where to start.
Yeah. So have you ever thought about getting into other electric cars as well, or is it just simply BMWs and Teslas you're kind of focusing on? I did see that you were playing around with a Toyota RAV4
Toyota RAV4. Yeah, I got one customer imported from California.
In the US?
Because, yeah, and that's got, I think it's here from 2012. They making it. I think it's something like 48 kilowatt battery in it, but gives about 100 miles range, and it's got Tesla large drive unit. Yeah, and it was that motor already removed, all drive unit being removed and exchanged to newer to 2018, and I'm like last month stripped it all again, because it's coolant getting inside the rotor into the motor, and all rusts in it, and bearing will be gone, and it was hard to turn it motor too, because it was long time didn't drive. That didn't help as well if you don't drive in.
Yeah.
And one of my Tesla's Model S's bought it 50,000 miles, 2016 model, and already was coolant getting into the rotor. So
well, it sounds like you've obviously repaired and fixed and probably sold and bought a few electric cars in your time.
Not few. Since 2015, I bought and sold about 180 electric cars, which ones being most have been repaired and sold it.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've never counted how many electric cars that I've bought, but I wouldn't. I'd like to think it's probably over 100.
Oh, nice.
Do you know what? I have to check. I'm sure I've got the spreadsheet somewhere that I can check out.
When you started, Tim.
Oh God, it was probably like 2000. Well, I certainly bought over 180 hybrids, but that don't count. But yeah, no. Obviously, from your experience and like fixing a lot of problems on them, because I'm very into kind of good value cars. What out of the cheapies, I think we know that the Nissan Leaf is not that great because of the battery thermal management lack of. The Renault Zoe seem to have a lot of charger issues. Kia Soul.
Motors failing, bearings failing, gearboxes. French cars is
absolutely
not the best.
What's your thoughts on the Kia Soul? Because I think last time I spoke to someone like Cleveley, they were talking that I think they have a couple of charger issues, but did you just focus on the i3 because you think it's such a well put together car, or do you think there's others worth the price?
I freeze is I can close my eyes and work with them. I know everything.
Sure. So do you
What
not?
was it? What was
God,
it
sorry.
that sorry. I think I'm getting a lag, so I'm sorry if I'm butting in. I think I'm running a couple of seconds behind. What was it that initially that attracted you to the i3? I mean, what was it that kind of sort of piqued your interest in that, working on it?
Yeah, what is it? One of my friends bought it, one i3. It was 2015. And sorry to say, but I said, "Oh, you must be stupidest person to buy, spend 40 grand on electric car." And like before electric cars, he was slow. He was do 20, 40 mile. Most disabled people drive them. I said, you should bought it. I said, BMW 7 Series, like half year old and with all,
Yeah.
extras. And I have always nice cars, BMW 7 Series. I don't know how many I got them. And wait, him said, when I get that car, I will bring you to try it. And yeah, him came up. I sit in there. Ooh, wow, big screen. I saw it. Another big screen. Uh, Start driving. Wow, I can hear, like sound of electric motor is like jet sound, when you press an accelerator. And then I came out on a main road, pressed it accelerator. I can't believe it. My BMW 740, so 4-liter engine, it's much slower as that BMW. Wow, I said. First, I see that one on auction and I will buy it. And I remember I bought it. Yeah, that year I bought it, maybe 10 or 15 of them, and repaired it and then sold it. And yeah, how I started with them. And what is it? It's nice when you concentrate in one make, because I have some friends working just with BMWs, with like some Audis, Volkswagen, but when you concentrate on one make, you will learn more, and you maybe like strip cars for the parts, so you have a part, so customer, you don't need wait, I can just walk in a garage, pick up that part second hand, put it in, and it's working. And sometimes, like when you buy in or some cars come up like Kia EV6 or something pretty new, you don't have parts, you go order it with dealer or something, or from breakers yard, you put that part, still doesn't work. So when you have your own parts, then it's easy.
Yeah,
It's easy.
yeah. No, that's fair enough, mate. On the Tesla side of things, you obviously done some battery swaps with i3s. I've heard that Tesla Model 3 battery packs are possible to swap. However, a lot of people in the press say, "Oh, it's 18 grand, 15 grand," but I've heard it's a lot cheaper than that, especially from the Tesla.
No, you can get cheaper Model 3.
Yeah.
3,000 and 2,000.
With Tesla, I think they can do it around about the 9-10 mark, depending on the model and stuff. Yeah. And I've heard that you just have to have the toolkit with Tesla to connect it. But how difficult is it actually to fit? Because, and this is my main question, I've heard that the jacking points get in the way or something. Do you know much about that?
Yes, but you need to have little pads, you put in and then it's comes off easy then battery,
Oh, really? So
okay. Yeah, and you bent in, if you don't put in them pads, then you bent, jack points, so yeah, you can buy them pads as well on eBay or
yeah. I've made sure that people use at least a little pad. It doesn't have to be the official Tesla ones, but yeah, as long as there's a pad there.
Yeah, I seen it a lot. People like changing tires. They go in like in a cheap tire garage and he dent everything and it's no good.
Antonio Palmero, hi, how are you doing, buddy? I've not seen you write a message before. Anybody that wants to ask Arvydas a question, whack it in the comments. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer anything. And thanks for everyone for joining in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, add a comment when you can. But yeah, any questions, whack them in. Alex, have you got any questions for Arvydas before I ask him some other nerdy ones?
It's interesting what you're saying about the what you're saying about the jacking points. I had to spend a load of money on I've got an old Polo in the background, and there's exactly the same. Nobody's up. You've got like a sill that you've used with the jack in the boot, or you've got points behind it for trolley jacks. And if you stick the sill seams on a trolley jack, you flatten them, and then they go crispy, and then they fall apart. So interesting seeing that's the same on something as different as a Tesla. Again, I mean, it's interesting to know. I mean, an i3 and a Model S, a Model or a Model 3 would have quite different kind of usage. Have you seen sort of differences in terms of kind of wear and tear, battery degradation, and so on? I mean, I'm curious to see, with that sort of different. I would imagine there's different uses between the two. What are the Tesla packs like when you're if you're that you're having in? I mean, they were kind of the original long range, weren't they? So.
Tesla parts, they are pretty good quality, I can say they don't break in easily, but you should look after, as well. You hear anything noises or anything like that, you need to start looking straight away, but some people just don't care about that, and you just drive until fall down completely. You always need to look after, car.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Still need,
and it doesn't matter it's performance or like standard range or anything like that.
Yeah. I thought Alex, you had a question.
Sorry,
I didn't want to butt in.
No, I was going to say, and the batteries, how are the batteries wearing on those? It's just interesting to know, because obviously those were the first vehicles that EVs that people were buying and sort of doing long journeys in. It's interesting to know how the early ones have fared.
Yeah, like Model S's, heavy cars, and I have plenty of them before, and I have a few for sale now. It is how to say, it's good. It's still got like over 200 miles range if you got 85 kilowatt battery pack. Wait, I got some pictures in my phone. When I do diagnostic, I can check what capacity in there. And one I know 2014, 2014, so like 11-year-old car, still was having 74 kilowatt working capacity. So it's not bad, 74 kilowatt is not bad, I can say, because normally here as well, new Tesla didn't give you that, like if it's 85, when you fully charged it, you looked it on your house, meter or something, how many went in there. And that was like less like 80 kilowatts. So it's lost it. That was done 128,000 miles, 11-year-old, and it's 74 kilowatts still was left in a working capacity.
Yeah,
it's interesting. The more you start to hear about it, the more you kind of realize that a lot of this. I mean, I think the regulations on this, where you've got to retain, like I think 70% by is the figure you've got to retain. I think that's really pessimistic, and I think that as time goes by, we'll realize that they're retaining much more than that, and just being that degradation figure that is actually on the pessimistic side. So it's interesting hearing that's the case with the vehicles that you've seen as well.
And yes, Alex is another.
You say that, but you look at the Tesla Model 3 that I bought recently, the performance one with 220,000 miles on, with battery degradation at 71% was the state of health. So is that what people expect? I mean, I think it depends on the use, depends on how it's charged, it depends on the discharge rate. Because my gut feeling,
same as the engine.
Same
as an engine. So
so more damage on the battery in that way. So I think it's getting all the data together, and it's still, I would say, quite early to tell, to be honest. But Arvydas, have you got any kind of advice that that you would give people getting into electric cars in terms of what to look out for, or what cars to buy? What would be your kind of what would be your favorite cars to get people started, which is reliable, good value? It's going to be the i3, isn't it?
Yeah, value and like Tesla mode. Yeah, Tesla cars is really good because supercharging network, it is best in the world. That thing, it is best, is number one. I can say Tesla because it's got that charging network. I drove at the south of France. I didn't, that didn't cost me. But all right, like if you got Tesla, you charge in car. I seen that if you go and charge in the Bristol, I one time went in there, it was after 12 o'clock. Yeah, in the night. It was, if I need pay it, I looked at 25 pence per kilowatt.
Nice.
And big time, it's going like 35, 50, up to 50 or 55 pence.
Yeah.
But look, if you have any another electric car that's cost you like, wait, what his name was? Him charging for
Kevin.
like 80, Kevin, 85 pence. So it's big difference, for charging. And Tesla is fast charging as well. Unlike Alex, you asked it about older Teslas and batteries. You always, if you buy in 2013, 14, 15 or 16 model Tesla Model S or X, you can upgrade to newer battery. Newer battery will give you a faster charge because Tesla software, when battery, when car get older, Tesla limited battery charging. So he done it slower charging. You charge maybe not in like 30 minutes up to 80%, but you charge maybe 40 and 50 minutes, some batteries. And I seen it in Norway, people give Tesla to the court and he win it. And he have some compensations because he bought a car with very fast charging. And after 5-6 years, he limited down. But why he doing that? Yeah, I know he saving battery, but he wants to people buy newer Teslas like Model 3s, quicker charging,
Arvydas, sorry to butt in. I was just going to say, if it's charging slower as it gets older, if you do a battery swap and it's the newer battery, surely it's a software thing, not a battery thing.
Yeah, it's so, but no, it's different with battery as well. Different battery, different battery that you charge quicker.
Yeah, I was thinking about it today. Should I really have 2 Model 3s? Maybe I should try and diversify a little bit more and go for like an older Model S. Maybe swap my Performance or Rusty for a Model S or X or something like that.
Yeah, Model S and SC01 free supercharger.
Yeah, that would be good.
If you're traveling a lot, you will save for that car in a few years' time. I know one guy bought that car and him driving a lot, and in 3 years that car paid off. But then a few years ago still Teslas was a lot. It was over 20 grand, but him said him have before, wait, what car? Audi, I think, e-tron. That's costing a lot of money to charge. And I said you should buy it,
If it was the original e-tron, they are literally the least efficient electric car other than the Lambo, Lotus.
I know.
They're pretty awful.
Yeah.
Has anyone? No one's come up with any questions, so we'll just plow on because we're only going to be doing an hour tonight. But Arvydas, have you got any exciting projects on at the go at the moment? Anything that you're fixing in particular that people might be interested to know what type of things you're fixing on the electric vehicles?
Yeah, I do everything, Tim. What's bring a car? Any
particular project that takes a bit longer than just the normal service and repair that you do?
Yes. Yeah, what is it? Oh, I told about proper electric car service. where dealers don't do that.
Yeah.
No,
I think we were talking.
Brakes.
Jumped on because you were talking.
It is the brakes. Every 2 years, what we do, always remove all wheels, remove calipers, remove brake pads, clean all rust, put copper grease, brake sliders, everything grease it, put together, and that's works again for 2-3 years. And you can't believe it. It's coming like Teslas, these BMWs, and another cars now 10-year-old. Never ever been changed, brake pads like on the Teslas. I got one Tesla came up last week, Model S 90D, 4-wheel drive, 2016. Brakes never ever been touched, so I lifted up a ramp, try turn back wheels. I can't turn it, and that was put into the rolling mode, to push car. And I can't spin it, how hard is it? So I removed that wheels, and took me hours to bash him out, them 2 pins, and completely remove it, calipers with holders out, because I can't remove it brake pads. It was so seized. And I don't say anything about dealers, but where they charging 180 pounds to change pole and filter, and he don't do main important job. So I can't understand that. Can't understand that. And that's, wheels jamming, and it's no good at all if it's like that. You're using more electricity, your brake pads, wearing out. He maybe start jamming like last year or something, but you normally every 2 years best to remove it, clean it, and then wheel will spin easy.
Leave the jam.
What is it, Tim?
That's what I say.
Tim, if you're driving not electric car, you don't use it, generative braking, when you release an accelerator, car not brakes, and you press in brake, you never count it, but you may be pressing 200-300 times brake per day. On electric car, how many times you're pressing brake? Sometimes didn't press
quite a lot on Rusty, because it's got like these performance pads on and they make squeaky noises. I have to like wear them in every time I drive in the car, otherwise it makes squeaky noises. But I do try and stay away from the brakes. I really enjoy the one pedal driving, and I think this is an interesting subject, and I think we've got a real good understanding of Arvydas in terms of what you do. And if any people have only just joined, go back and listen to it, watch on YouTube, X, or it's on Spotify now, because Arvydas has done some great work in the EV community and he's won awards off the back of it. But one thing that gets me, I don't know why it's coming into my head, I think it's the one pedal driving thing, is Porsche Taycans. The fact that Porsche say, oh no, not one pedal driving, because you want to have that normal experience of driving a car. I think that's a bit of a cop-out, personally, because everyone that I've spoken to actually really, really enjoys the one pedal braking. So this is my kind of tinfoil idea, is the fact that maybe Porsche don't do it, so you come in for servicing more. So it's like a money maker for the maintenance. Oh well, you need the brake fluid changing every 2 years because you don't have one pedal driving. Do you get what I'm getting at there?
What is it?
Like a cheeky thing with Porsche. No, you can't have one pedal braking, sir, because you won't.
Tim, especially if now it's nice and warm in UK, it's okay, but after rain you must press brake few times, and I'm always do. You maybe where you live you don't have a hills or something, but here in the Wales is everywhere, and I always just drive fast and sometimes turn in a neutral, and then first, look, if there's no one behind, and then jam on the brakes very well, and then you clean it, all them rust and everything. Because look, it's just enough wash your car, and after 2 hours, you will look your discs all rusty, all like, all brown, rusty. So you need clean it, and it's best like, in the winter. I know we here didn't have from, you know, not like -5, not -20 or 25 like where I'm from. So yeah, like my dad was like, washed that car, washed the whole salt from the car, moved it into the garage. And after next week, because him didn't drive it, was snow everywhere, used it another electric i3, which one I bought it in UK, was category C. It was damaged, so I thought I bought it pretty cheap, so I will do left hand drive conversion. I done it 2018, and yeah, I put it on the recovery lorry, and that brought it back to my parents. And hate driving and absolutely love it, that BMW i3.
Yeah. No, mate, honestly, it sounds great. And I love your enthusiasm and all the stories that you've got. And Dean's just put in a comment, Arvydas, you're only 30 miles away from me. I'll book you in for a service, my car, when it's due next. How about that? What would you charge just before we sign off? Because it's getting to that time. How much do you cost? How much do you charge for like a annual or a 2-year service at your place?
Yeah, I need a look if it's need change brake fluid. You know, I got tools as well to check if there's any humidity or anything like that. But I never ever would like to rip off people if it don't need change that. So why change it? Then come up maybe next year I will, or after 2 years I will change it. And it's need look what's needs do it. You know, but if it's brake service never ever been done, to remove all wheels and greased and everything and put it all back, that's about £100 including VAT. Wow. I change in all them filters, but if you got range extender BMW and you maybe done brake service, so to change engine oil filters, just check everything around the cars, and the pollen filter, that's about £120 plus VAT.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like I might have to come and see you sometime soon, Arvydas, because there's electric cars to fix always. That's what happens when you've got high mileage ones. No, it's fine, honestly. But Arvydas, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all your knowledge. And anybody that hasn't heard of his garage before, check it out. It's on Facebook. I think it's on Instagram as well, isn't it? Under EV
Instagram,
yeah. So go and check that out. But thanks everyone for listening in. Don't forget to like and share, and we'll be back next week for probably a little bit more news and just a general chat. But I'll see everyone next time. Thanks all.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.